How's it going, dreamers? My name's Acer, and in this video I'm going to be making a sword swing animation and just trying to explain my thought process and why I'm doing things. So we're starting off in a completely blank scene. So I'm going to be making this sword swing animation from scratch, so we don't skip over anything. Now the three main things we're going to be going over are the actual sword swing animation, and then the second thing is preventing the swing from interrupting itself. So if you spam the attack button, we'll just say it's square, we don't want the animation to continuously restart. And the third thing is to prevent other actions from happening while we're swinging the sword. So one action we're preventing is another sword swing. Another would possibly be movement, or maybe jumping, or just anything. So let's get started. All right. So let's go to the characters and the blank puppet collection, and we're just going to place down the platforming puppet. And if we just start, let's see what we're working with. So we have this. It looks like we have a jump, and that's pretty much it. Okay, cool. That's not bad. I'm going to turn on thermo, x-ray, and turn off preview invisibility. And let's open up the logic. And before we do this, I'm also going to align it to the grid. So I'm going to hold R2 and then press triangle. But before we do that, we need the scope out of the puppet. There. So now it's aligned to the grid, and we can just align it with the floor. This doesn't really matter. It just looks nicer. Awesome. So I'm going to turn the grid back off, and I'm going to do some stuff with this chip. I don't really... Well, hold on. What's in this? Not sure why that's so high up. What's in this poses chip? Idle pose and run pose. Okay, actually, we want that. That's one of the ones we want. I don't really want follow behavior. I don't really want level complete. Slide... See, this is interesting. This is new to me, to be completely honest. Sliding. It looks like the puppet knows if it's sliding. Huh, that's cool. We don't really need this for this tutorial, so I'm just going to delete it. Okay, so now we're left with the sounds, the controller logic, the auto guide, and the poses. Awesome. For the controller logic, really quick, I'm just going to make it force possession, and I'm going to remove this depossess. So it was hooked to the O button, and we're just going to stop that. Okay, so now if we go back into it, we're automatically in it, and we can't leave. Perfect. Now onto the actual sword swing. So I'm going to place down a timeline. Just anywhere, it doesn't really matter for now. And I'm going to be doing this animating with the DS4, but I would highly recommend the moves, but I'm going to do it with the DS4 just... So, because most people, that's all they have. We're going to place a keyframe, and this keyframe is going to be blank. This is going to be a blank keyframe. This is so the character blends smoothly from whatever animation it's doing to the attack animation. All right, and before we animate further, we need to find a sword. So let's find a sword. I'm going to go to Dreamiverse and just type in sword. See what comes up. Sword swing trail. Okay, how about... Oh, man. This one? Ooh, very nice. All right, cool. So let's shrink this down. And I'm going to group this sword into the puppet's right hand. Okay, so how am I going to do that? I am going to grab it with R2 and then hover over the hand and hold L1 and then just press X, then press X again. I can keep pressing X, but nothing happens. Now, if I scope out by holding L1 and then O just one time, and then I move the hand, the sword moves with it. If I rotate the hand, the sword rotates with it. So that's exactly what we want. We're going to scope back into the hand group. See? And we're going to line up the sword in the hand. So to make it look like he's holding it. Perfect. All right. So now that we have the sword, one more thing though, before we start. This probably won't affect anything, but a lot of the items off the Dreamiverse are collidable. When you really, when you really don't want them to be. So for most games, unless you're doing a physics-based game, the weapon itself should not be collidable. There's absolutely no point for it to be collidable. So what you saw me do was select all the items in the sword, and then go to its menu. And when I make one of the items uncollidable, because they're all selected, they're all turned uncollidable. Great. So we now have a sword. So if we play the sword, the sword is grouped in with the hand. That looks a little weird. So let's just move it down a bit so we're not stabbing ourselves in the head. Hopefully that's better. No. Huh. Okay, it looks like the idle pose makes the hand tilt. So we actually want this to rotate down even more. Let's try that. That's still, wow, we're still stabbing ourselves in the head. All right, let's keep adjusting this until we're not doing that. All right, let's try this. Okay, honestly, like, I think this puppet is just, this is tough. What if we change the hand position? I think honestly, I think the issue is that the run animation is weird. So if we go to run pose, yeah. So okay, so this is how you fix the issue I was having. If we go to the run pose keyframe, and this is the run pose, right? If we just change the hand to not be stabbing ourselves, that should be better. I hope. There we go. Okay, that's better. There's still a lot of movement though, but it's better. It is definitely better. Honestly, that's fine. That's fine for now, as long as we're not literally like stabbing ourselves in the head. All right, now on to the actual animation. So we're back to our timeline. Our first keyframe. We're gonna place down another keyframe. We can just copy and paste the first one. And then we set the blend type by holding L1 and then pressing X. And let's just go into this. So we're gonna scope into the player. And what do we want to do? So we want a wind up, and then we want the actual swing. I think the wind up is going to, yeah. So the wind up is going to turn. We're going to turn the body a little bit, and all of these animations, I'm holding L2 and then moving with the joystick. I'm not using the R2, which is the movement animation. I'm using the L2, which is the rotation animation, and we get a lot smoother animations from that. So the wind up, we're going to rotate the body, and we're going to lift the foot just a little, because you're stepping with your left foot before you swing. And then we're going to rotate the abdomen, I guess. Oh, and by the way, the pelvis and the feet are R2. And they're positional animations. You can't do a rotational for that, I don't believe. Yeah, you can't. You literally just can't, which is fine. So again, we're gonna rotate the pelvis. We're gonna rotate this the mid body part. And we're gonna rotate the upper body part. Now let's also raise the arm. And we can pretty much rotate the hand however we want, because the hand is a sphere. That looks pretty good. Let's extend the elbow a little bit more. All right, this isn't bad. Maybe we can... Ooh. I think we want to just stick with doing positional with the foot animation. And the final thing is raising the left hand up. So with the left hand, when you're doing a sword swing or just any sort of swing, the left hand gets like... The left hand isn't just like sitting, like laying down. It goes forward and then gets pulled back. So actually something like that. Maybe we make it a little higher. We don't want it too... We don't want the animation of the left hand to be too... Left arm to be too crazy. You don't want it to be distracting. But that should be good. Okay, awesome. For the rest of this, we're going to pin the timeline to the screen. And let's just see what this looks like. So we're there. Okay. And what's next? We're going to copy and paste this keyframe. And now we're just going to start from here. Now, what are we doing next? We want the body to move forward. We want the leg to step down. And maybe get lower as well. And now we also want to rotate it. We want to rotate it. So this is the swing. We want the sword to follow the arm. We don't want the sword to lead. Okay, so we've rotated the pelvis. Let's rotate the body first. And we're going to do 2 more keyframes. So we had a backswing keyframe. We want a keyframe that's like outstretched, and then we want to follow through a keyframe. All right, so the body's been rotated. Let's pull the arm back just a little bit. For animations like this, you rarely want to not animate something, because if something's not being moved, it's very noticeable. I guess it depends, but that's just a general rule. And now we can swing the arm. Not that way. I would personally use moves for this animation, guys. I just want to make that clear. But I'm not using moves for you guys. I'm using the DS4 just to show you that it is possible. All right, so the sword isn't following. We want the sword to follow. I think I want the wrist, no, to be bent like that. Something like that, yeah. Okay, that's not bad. I think I want the upper body to be rotated more, and the arm to be outstretched a little bit more. And this shortcut I'm using, it's L1 and then left D-pad and right D-pad. And it's a great way to just like see what the animation looks like. And this is looking pretty good. So let's copy and paste the keyframe. Blend it and continue. So we want the pelvis to continue moving, I think. Yeah, let's continue rotating it. Rotate the body some more. It's all good to rotate it this much. It's good to exaggerate the movements. So this is the follow through, right? So we're going to put the arm all the way over. And now we're going to start moving the wrist like this. That looks weird, so just a little bit. So maybe we don't move the arm that much. Something like that. That looks good. That actually looks pretty good. The back or the left arm, let's move that. Something like this. And yeah, let's see what this looks like. That's smooth. That's honestly pretty smooth. Now, Obviously, the timing is not right, and we'll work on that. But I'm focusing right now on the motions. Okay, and I don't want to move the head too much. I've always found that if I try to animate the head, it just looks weird. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now let's work on the blending types and how fast this animation is. Oh, one more thing though. So it's done, right? But the last thing we need to do is add a blank keyframe. So this is a blank keyframe. We want to add that to the end. All right, that's really important. That was weird. I think the idle is blending. When I played time right there, I think the idle is blending with this attack. So let's just keep doing this for testing. All right, very nice. Okay, so we now want to change like the speed of this. This is obviously way too slow. Let's make this let's make this timeline a little bit bigger. And so let's see. For the backswing, we want you to bring the sword back in an S curve. That looks smooth. Yeah, something like that. And probably quicker. That's good. That's good. Okay, now for the follow through, we want this completely linear. We want the follow through linear. We don't want it like going fast, then stopping, then going fast. So we just want the animation to play right through. Okay. We'll S curve back to neutral. And obviously this needs to be faster, right? So let's make it 2 times as fast, about, by pushing the keyframes together. That's too fast. We don't want it, it might not be too fast. It was all right. It's not horrible. Let's shrink this back down. Okay, the windup is a little too slow. This is decent though. This is decent. The windup's a little slow, so we're gonna move. I like the swing though, so we're gonna keep the swing the same and just speed up the windup. Now the windup's too fast. Okay, and finally back to neutral needs to happen a little bit quicker. What if we tried ease in or ease out, whatever this is, the faster than slow? That looks better. I like that. I think the swing needs to be faster. There we go. There we go. And finally, back to neutral, even faster. No, that's too fast. So maybe not. I think the follow through should go farther. I know I changed it, but I think I'm gonna change it back. So let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, there you go. You generally, yeah, you want to exaggerate animations. And actually, you know what, instead of what I just did, we should try this. Let's try extending this keyframe. So it just holds the follow through just for a little bit. See, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Maybe a little bit smaller though. Yeah, there you go. So it just holds the follow through just for a little. That looks pretty good. This will be more prevalent in like stabs. You want to hold the end of the stab just for a little bit, or maybe like slash downs or whatever you want to call that, slams. You want to hold the end of the slam just for a little bit instead of just immediately snapping back. All right, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Awesome. So the animation is finished. So we have our animation. Now what? Now we want to play it, but we also don't want things to be... We don't want other animations playing while this is playing. And we actually had a little taste of that while we were testing. So like if we play it right now, notice how the animation looks all weird. That's because the idle pose is on. So we need to handle that. And one way to do it is by using tags and zones. So if we place a tag in here and we make the tag, let me explain what this tag is for. The purpose of this tag is that when this tag is on, other stuff turns off. So we're going to call this attacking. Sorry. All right, we're going to call this tag attacking. And when the attacking tag is on, so notice how I didn't extend it all the way. When you're going back to neutral, we don't need to block things out. So we're going to do it right to there. So when the attacking tag is on, we don't want the idle pose or the run pose playing at all, okay? So yes, we could keyframe this, but I'm doing it with tags and zones because if I have another animation, I don't want to have to re-keyframe it. It's a lot easier to just place the tag in the timeline. So we're going to put this poses chip in another microchip, and we're gonna have a zone that senses the tag attacking. And if this attacking zone is on, is detecting the tag, the poses chip turns off. Oh my gosh. All right, there. Wow. Okay, like that. So now when we play, yeah, notice how the animation actually looks decent. Awesome. So with this chip, we can also disable other stuff, such as movement. So let's do that. This is the movement chip, I believe. Yeah, it's the jumping and the walking chip. So we also want to disable this. So let's grab this zone and this not gate. Or actually, yeah, we don't want to disable this entire chip, just this puppet interface. Okay, so when you're not attacking, this is working. And finally, just to test this out, we're going to let's grab a controller sensor. Let's make the controller sensor remote controllable. Let's put this entire thing in its own chip. This can be like the attacking chip or something. And when square is pressed, we're going to play the animation once. All right, so we can run around, and I'm going to continue moving the joystick and then press square. So notice how we stop. Notice how we stop. We're not moving. I can't jump either until the animation's finished. But you might have noticed, you might not have, that if we spam square, it's going to, you can still play it. You can, it'll repeat the animation before it's finished. See? So now let's work on that. And it's actually going to use the same technique. So while the attacking tag is on, we cannot use this. So it's literally the exact same technique. We're not going to let this square input activate the timeline if the attacking tag is on. So now I'm spamming square, and notice how it's only playing once the attacking tag is off. If you want to be able to attack faster, maybe we can do this. See? I mean, this is not what I want, but I'm just saying that you can do it if you want. I like it like this, though. So you're not completely locked out of attacking while you're recovering from the attack. All right, so that is how you prevent other actions, including the same attack, from overlapping the attack. So the last thing I want to go over before we end this this tutorial is to actually make the attack deal damage. I'm going to do this as simply as possible, but if you want a more advanced way, check out the card. I think it's going to be up there. Yeah, where I show you how to make a dynamic health modifier. And when I say that, I mean the health modifier actually moves with the sword. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to do something really simple. So we're going to place a health modifier inside the animation. And we want this very small. We only want the damage applying for probably 1 or 2 frames. So let's just make it there. And we want the damage to apply probably there, somewhere around there. So that's perfect. So let's go into the health modifier. You can change how much damage it deals. Let's just do -10, I guess. It doesn't really matter for this. Per hit is good, and then we don't want impact. We do not want impact. We want zone. Okay, we want zone. I don't know why. Oh, okay, this is funny. This is the effect that happens when the character takes damage. That's really funny. We're going to address that right now. We do not want to be able, we don't want to damage friends. So let's turn that off, okay? And it's it's any selected is fine. And let's make it both and both, I guess. It doesn't really matter. And finally, let's change the label on the puppet to be a friend. Okay, so can we restart now? Yeah. Okay, there we go. So now we're not dealing damage to ourselves. That's very important. Finally, let's change the size of the zone, because obviously when we attack, we don't want the damage being applied in this giant sphere. I like making it a cylinder. That's just what I prefer, but any shape is fine. So I'm going to just drastically make this smaller. And we're going to put it somewhere here. I don't know why this little node thing isn't centered with... Oh, well, there you go. Okay, that's better. Because we're not damaging friends, which is what the puppet is, which is what the character is, we can make this zone into the player. It's completely fine. And I'm just going to make it pretty wide. It's always nice for the player to give them to make the health modifier like bigger than you think it should, because if the sword, it's never a great feeling if the sword hits the enemy but you don't deal damage. So something like this should be good. Okay, cool. So now to test this, let me just really quickly set up like a target dummy. And to do that, I'm not skipping anything, so let me show you. I'm just gonna get a blank puppet. Okay. And in this puppet, well, let's just see. Is this a friend? I'm not sure. It shouldn't be. No, it's not. Let's just see what happens. No, okay. Okay, so there's no like damage taking logic. Although this has damage taking logic. So wait, let me try placing another one and see if anything happens. No. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. So we'll add some logic to go along with that. Although I thought, yeah, I thought it took. I thought when it takes damage, this happens. But maybe, oh, maybe that's only. You know what? That's probably only gonna happen if you're in it. Or no, that it should have happened. Why? That's so weird. Why is that? What's going on? Are we not? Is the damage not being applied? Both. Any selected unlabeled. This is unlabeled. The damage should have been applied. So let's see. Let's debug this. Let's see what happens. So we're gonna actually make this. We're going to make this controller sensor remote controllable, and we're just gonna play, walk him over, and press square. This is not the best way to do it, but that's all right. Okay, so the health, you see the health modifier turning on, but you don't see this health manager taking damage at all, which is really weird to me. Maybe this needs to be bigger? Huh. Why isn't this health modifier dealing damage? Per hit, zone, consider players? I'm not sure. I don't think that has anything to do with it. Any selected, unlabeled. I mean, we can try making it faux. We can try setting this guy to... Oh, he was a friend. Oh. Well, that was simple. I guess he was a friend after all. Did I... Huh. Okay, let's try making him a foe. And obviously... reverting the change to be back to possessable. Okay. There we go. Okay, there we go. So that's working. Now that's a little over the top. We're gonna change this just a little bit to just make him flash red. So we want it to get red very quickly and then make the red go away slowly. And if we scope in, double tap X on the pelvis and then select, we can change all of them to red at the same time. Like that. So let's see what happens. There we go. And maybe we can make it glow as well. Okay. Very nice. Maybe we add a sword swing sound. So let's do that as well. That should be in combat and close quarters, most likely. Let's do this one. And we just want to make sure this sound lines up with the sword swing. So that obviously does not. It's too fast, or it's too soon. There we go. Maybe a little sooner. There we go. Perfect. 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 So there you go, guys. This is exactly how I would go about making a basic sword swinging attack. We deal damage. We don't allow any movements while we're attacking. We don't allow any other attacks while attacking. This is a fantastic foundation for just like a hack and slash game or any game where you need a sword swing. I really hope this helped. I can expand upon this if you guys want. If this tutorial is well received, I can definitely like keep going with it. Maybe we add some system of like swapping weapons. Maybe we add some system of like multiple different attacks, a blocking mechanic. I don't know. It's whatever you guys want. I could turn this into a series or something. That could be pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this helped out. If you need more Dreams help, I stream Dreams on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And I also have a fantastic Discord community that you should definitely join if you want to talk about Dreams or pretty much anything. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you guys later. I just wanna be with